When you host the application on AWS, you will always want that your application is always available. Elastic Load Balancing is a service that automatically distributes the incoming web traffic across multiple EC2 instances to ensure that your application is always available and can handle a large number of requests. When a user requests to access your application, ELB or Elastic Load Balancing will automatically route the request to one of the available instances, ensuring that the load is distributed evenly and no single instance become overloaded. It also checks the health of the instance before distributing the load and automatically route the traffic away from the instances that is not healthy. There are two types of Elastic Load Balancer. Application Load Balancer. Application Load Balancer actually route the traffic based on HTTP and HTTPS. Network Load Balancer. Network Load Balancer route the TCP and UDP traffic. Next, let's talk about the Application Load Balancer. Application Load Balancer automatically distribute the incoming web traffic across multiple EC2 instances. It routes the traffic based on HTTP and HTTPS. Application Load Balancer can route the incoming traffic based on the content of the request. This is accomplished by using the routing rules that match the URL path, host header, or other request attributes to a specific target group. This allows more fine-grained control over how traffic is distributed to your instances, making it possible to route the request to different parts of your application based on the URL path or other request attributes. Application Load Balancer allow you to offload SSL and TLS decryption from your instances and handle it at the load balancer. Application Load Balancer allow you to configure multiple listeners on different port and protocols. Next, let's talk about the Network Load Balancer. Unlike Application Load Balancer, which routes the traffic based on the content of the request, Network Load Balancer route the traffic based on the IP protocol data. Network Load Balancer is used to route the TCP and UDP traffic to multiple EC2 instances, and it can handle millions of requests per second while maintaining the ultra low latencies. Network Load Balancer allow you to maintain the client connections to a specific instances, even if the instance become unavailable. Network Load Balancer allow you to configure multiple listeners on different ports and protocols. Network Load Balancer has the following benefits. High performance. Network Load Balancer is capable of handling the millions of requests per second while maintaining the low latency. Connection persistence. Network Load Balancer allow you to maintain the client connection to specific instances, even if the instance become unavailable. Sticky sessions. Network Load Balancer allow you to maintain the client connections to specific instances, even if the instance become unavailable. Health check. Network Load Balancer can check the health of the instances and automatically route the traffic away from any instance that are not healthy. Multiple listeners. Network Load Balancer allow you to configure multiple listeners on different ports and protocols. Scale horizontally. Network Load Balancer can automatically scale to handle large amount of traffic by distributing it across multiple instances. So you can choose any load balancing method. You can choose network load balancer or application load balancer based on your architecture or your application requirement.